All right, I've got the wiring ran along with this vent for the fuel tank. It's got this little cap thing that it builds up so much pressure, I guess it releases it. But this, I had to replace this, is all new. It was all old and crusty and fell apart when I was taking the tank out. But so far we've got brakes, the vent line, and the electrical ran. So now it's time for the fuel. And what I did was, I don't want to put the tank in yet because it's going to be in the way. But I kind of set it to where it needs to be, just so that I can measure and make these fuel lines. So the strap comes up, the bottom of the strap will come up and go into here. So you could see that's where the strap went. And then the front's the same. It goes underneath this mount right here. And of course the cover needs to go on it also, but it comes up and the strap will strap onto this one. The rear strap goes up underneath this one. So I got it pretty much where I think it should go. Plus, you see that filler neck, the frame is notched out for the filler neck. So next is to make the fuel lines, and these fittings, they take these snap-on, I think they call these Bundy fittings if you want to Google it, or just quick connect or snap fittings. And so I ordered some through, I think I got these on Amazon. They're Russell fittings, but I've got the 5/16, which is the white plastic clicker, whatever you want to call it, connector, and then 3/8 is blue. And what I liked about these was it matches the Ford. See, that's white, 3/8 was blue. So these match, they match the Ford ones, so that when I put these on, you know, I know that the blue will go on the bigger, and then the white will go on the smaller one. And then the same for the tank. I still have it wrapped in plastic, but it should match up. And then for the line, I've got this braided AN and whatever they call it, and then some fittings. So, you know, and these are you can either do 45 straight, 90. They got all kinds of stuff. And this is all a kit, except for the Russell fittings came separate, but it comes with 20 feet of 3/8. So both lines will be 3/8. It'll just be the end that's 5/16. And then it comes with all kind of fittings and stuff. And this is where the hose, if you go on YouTube, you can find how to make this, where you put the thing in there and it smashes it down. And then inside here, it's hard to see. There is an O-ring. There, you can see the top of it right there. And so when it goes in there, it presses up against this and seals it pretty good. But that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and run 2 lines. Shouldn't take that long to make them. The only drawback to using this is I don't think I can put it back, you know, in those keepers where the metal lines ran. So I might have to either, maybe I can cut this, you know, maybe I can trim this to where when I close it up, it'll hold them. I don't know. I'll have to look at it when I get them run. But for now, I'm just going to make them and then run them from the water filter, water separator, run them to this frame rail, and probably give myself, you know, a little bit, try to figure out how many inches I need to come off of it. But hopefully it doesn't leak. These things are, they're pretty good fittings. The whole kit it cost me almost $100 for all that stuff I bought. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I got the first one made. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna 45 off of this line, probably both of them. I'll do a 45, that way it kind of points down, because if I come straight up, the fitting, you know, this fitting will have to go on. We'll have to go on there, and it's kind of, let me get a better angle at it. It's pointed up, And then if I do a straight fitting, it's going to want to go up even higher and put it level with these. So I'm going to 45 it down and run it all back that way. And I won't do a 45 going to that because this stuff is pliable enough to where it can curve over. Plus the factory ones were about 12 inches, came off the frame, and that way it was pliable too. But on these fittings, I think it's best if you pull these out, these little plastic, the clip out, and put it on first, and make sure that these get behind this. They get behind it all the way, and then you could take this fitting and just snap it on, and then you can't pull that off. So then we'll take this, see if I can do this 2 hands. Hold the phone, here we go. Make sure our O-ring's in here. Yep. We won't tighten it up for right now, but see, we've got this 45, and what I can do is I can turn it, hold it, tighten it, and as you can see, it's already tucked up underneath. And we'll do the same for the other one. And it'll run. I'll put it up underneath and see if I can get it to somehow, I don't want to zip tie, but I might have to run it all the way underneath, and then it'll come out. It'll come out onto the tank. Anyways, so I got one more to make. I'll get them all fitted and everything, and we'll take a look. All right, so I got my fittings and my lines installed, made, running down the the frame rail. Still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with those. I probably will just kind of cut the inside of those out. I have one right here when I took the frame, cut it apart, but I'll probably trim this because the old fuel lines, you can see where they snapped in. Just try to cut that or wall it out with a drill or something, a Dremel, to where they both can fit in there. So I'll probably have to take those out. That one, I'll take that one out, and maybe this one. This one I won't. They're not going to go through that because they need to turn right after this one. So, but anyways, yeah, I got them all ran. I'm fixing to install the tank. All right, I got the tank installed. Finally got everything buttoned up. Ran out of clamps, so I had to found one of these in my extras pile, but this is that vent line. Then I got both, all this is tight. I had to pull this wire back through the loom because there was more wire down here when the frame was longer. But anyways, I got it set up, and then of course here's the other part of the vent line, and then I've got the wires just hanging out the back for right now. But yeah, I mean, it all worked out. You can see where I cut out and made room, and it still has enough, you can still pull on it if you had to. And I just ran it all together. It's really tough to see, but you can get down in there, and then it comes up. And I didn't like how close this was, so I just cut a piece of hose, just if it rubs. But that's it. I mean, now I'm not gonna put the bed on just yet, or the filler neck and all that stuff. I'm gonna move the floor now that I'm done with all this, move the floor back to where this is, and start on, lift the cab up, get the cab back over here and put it up on top. And then I'll worry about the cab, because I want to check for leaks. If there's leaks on this or on the brake line, it's just easier to have the bed off. And the cab will be on it, but I won't fasten it down. Maybe I'll think of something. Well, these probably won't be too hard to get to. I've changed that filter before. But if depending on if those leak, I don't think these will leak. I'm just worried about the brake line. But yeah, that's it. So I think that'll do it for this week. Hopefully next week I can get this cab set on here and start messing with it. Maybe a while before I post another video. But yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. Thanks.